Hey y'all, and welcome to my private tent in the woods. Why are we here? Because I'm selling everything and going all into Bitcoin and Ethereum, but mainly Bitcoin. And let me share with you why I'm so bullish on Bitcoin into 2024 and 2025. As usual, none of this is financial advice. I'm literally just a guy on the internet, and I'm just sharing what I'm doing with you guys.
Knowledge.
Now let me share some things with you on why I'm extremely bullish on Bitcoin when it's been knocked down so bad in the last few weeks. I'm recording on 8/22/2023, and we can see in the past 2 weeks or so, Bitcoin has fallen by about 12%, and it's sitting at about $25,000, basically $26,000. So with this current price, I think it is time to start accumulating Bitcoin. And why now? Concerning Bitcoin, we do have a halving in 249 days. This is just an estimate, sometime in April. Now, if you don't know much about Bitcoin, the Bitcoin halving is very simple. Block halving events happen every 4 years, or 210,000 blocks in Bitcoin. It was originally 50, and then 6.25, and the next block reward will be 3.125 Bitcoin. So essentially, when miners mine Bitcoin, the rewards will be cut in half, so it's harder to mine more Bitcoin. So this limits supply. So instead of getting 6.25 Bitcoin per block reward, you're only going to get 3.125, and then it's going to happen again. And then the general theory for why this is done is general fiat currencies allow government banks to print money and cause inflation. Bitcoin's case, the total supply will be maxed out at 21 million Bitcoin. Printing extra money causes inflation. If there's no extra money printed, the value of Bitcoin should increase as the demand will rise. More people are buying Bitcoin. Hasn't crashed to $2,000 like people were saying during the bear market, if we're out of the bear market. And supply will stay lower or flat. No more Bitcoins printed. So it's similar to gold, and there is limited Bitcoin supply. So why is the Bitcoin halving important in terms of price? On my chart, I've marked Bitcoin halving approximately. This is the weekly. And you can see after each halving, there's a lull period, and then you got the moon. The lull period, moon. You get the lull period, and then moon. Each Bitcoin halving has so far correlated with a drastic rise in price. But outside of that, we also have some interesting news coming out. Of course, along with the halving, we have other really good news, which is institutions like BlackRock, Fidelity, and ARK Investments are all seeking approval for Bitcoin ETFs. This allows more people to buy Bitcoin, more people to invest easily, which will bring more money to Bitcoin, and more supply will be limited because of the halving. So events are kind of aligning to shoot Bitcoin higher come the next bull run. Now, I also pulled up Benjamin Cohen. I highly recommend watching his videos if you want Bitcoin valuations. He's averaged out the monthly returns for Bitcoin, and you can see August and September at the bottom have generally been bad months for crypto. So this is the time to start accumulating. If you believe in Bitcoin, if you believe the halving will send the price higher, if you think BlackRock will get approved, and they've gotten approved on almost all their ETFs, that will bring more people to a supply. So now's the time to buy if the price is going to be low based on an average on the months. And with the halving, we still have a little bit of ways. It's just an estimation, but we're expecting about 257 days away from the current Bitcoin halving. Benjamin Cohen has been pretty spot on with a lot of his analysis, and let's hear what he thinks the price will be at the Bitcoin halving.
So Bitcoin is at the halving because every single prior halving has occurred at the price where Bitcoin hit the fair value. It happened in 2012, it happened in 2016, and it also happened in 2020. So if we were to speculate that it'll happen in 2024, it would mean that you're looking at about around a $40,000 Bitcoin by 2024, which is also what we said back in 2020 when the price was 8K.
So Benjamin's price prediction, that was about a year ago, but most of his analysis has been spot on, is Bitcoin will be around $40,000 at the Bitcoin halving. So I want to take you to the chart and then see how long from the Bitcoin halving does it take to get to the peak. So from now, we are pretty significantly down from $40,000 to $40,000 would be about a 50% gain, which would be great as of now because that'd be in April. Let's just take a quick analysis from the first halving to the peak, which is right about here. It was about 371 days. First halving. Second halving was about 525 days. And then the third halving, let's say peak is right about here, 336 days. So let's say about a year on average from the halving to the peak. Might be quicker, it might be longer, as we've seen in the previous 3 examples. We don't know, but let's just guess about a year on average. Now I'm going to do some quick analysis so we can see where a potential gain will be from the halving. Now, the halving is never 100%. Now, this is just a halving estimate when it might happen. Let's just assume it'll happen around April, May, so let's say May 6th. And you see I drew some trend lines. This is on a logarithmic scale, and it's been fairly accurate so far. So let's hope it has some truth for the next halving for a price target. So let's go to May 6th, right about there. Let's go to about $40,000. And let's say it takes 1 year from now to reach its peak, as we don't know if it'll be a little faster or a little longer, but let's just take an estimate. So let's go 1 year out. There we go, close enough. And let's see if it gets somewhat close to the top of this line. That'd be about $180,000 Bitcoin. If it doesn't even reach close, you're still looking at least $130,000 Bitcoin. Now, I'm going to be more conservative in my estimate. I think we'll probably reach $100,000 to $150,000 Bitcoin. You know, this is just a general trend line. I'm not going to bank that much on it. But I think Bitcoin has a really easy chance to 2x or 3x from the $40,000 price point. And we are very below that. We're currently at about $26,000. And if we even made it to $100,000, we're looking at almost 300% gain, 3x on all your money. Now, I think a 3x is pretty conservative. I think a 4 or 5x from the current price point is much more likely. And if you buy Ethereum, you're going to have a more volatile asset, so that does mean more reward. But what are the risks right now? Personally, I think the risks are very low if you're going to be DCAing in over the next 3 months, which is my plan. I think it's possible that we do drop back down to the low during this bear cycle, which has been about $16,000, and it's possible we drop even lower. I personally think about a $12,000 Bitcoin would be the absolute worst case scenario at this point. And you see I just drew a basic support line right here, and that's not accounting for the curve support that we have on the logarithmic scale. I mean, in this past bear cycle, we had FTX blow up, which was $8 billion gone. Crypto survived. Along with FTX, we had the Terra Luna chain explode, and it cost investors over $40 billion. So we had two huge exchanges explode. Crypto's still alive in this past bear market. I think that's some of the worst news you could have. So what are the real threats, I think, for crypto? Honestly, in my opinion, it's government intervention, at least in the US. You know, we have charges on Binance right now from the SEC. We have charges on Coinbase. I think more government intervention is really the major threat to crypto more than anything else. But outside of this, I think crypto is really set to have a great bull run in the year 2024, 2025, whenever that happens. In worst case scenario, I think we have a great risk to reward setup. From $25,000, I think we have about a 50% loss max that could happen, but we're looking at a 4 to 5x gain coming the next bull run, in my opinion. So I think it's a great risk to reward setup, and for a very easy trade if you can just handle the volatility and hold on and DCA in over the next coming months. So what is my plan as of now? Over the next 3 months, I'm going to be buying a lot of Bitcoin. Hopefully it drops down a little more, comes towards this band. We never know, it might drop down lower, but I'll be DCing in over the next 3 months or so, and I'm going to try to accumulate 1 Bitcoin. I want 1 Bitcoin, and I'm accumulating Ethereum as well for a little bit more leverage. Plus, Ethereum actually has some great DeFi tools, which you can explore on your own time. With this Bitcoin, I'm hoping it does do a 4 to 5x. If I accumulate 1 with around $25,000 purchase price, if it goes to 150x, that is really a lot of money to use to purchase a down payment. To illuminate a long mortgage, we're seeing 40-year mortgages now. The plan is to use that, put a large down payment on a house, and hopefully pay off this house within 5 years. These mortgages are going to be eating us up, and I do view this as a great opportunity to escape that coming the next bull run. When you have your house paid off, you can do so many things. I understand it makes more sense to do the minimum mortgage, invest in the stock market over time, but we can see things do not always go right. We can see if you don't really own your house, if you can't make your mortgage payments, it gets stripped away. So I would rather have that as an asset as mine. I view it more as a liability than an asset. So I'd rather just pay it outright, be done, and then use my money elsewhere and never have to worry about housing again. Are you currently buying Bitcoin and Ethereum? Please comment down below. Let's have a conversation on your outlook on crypto. If you're going to waste a bunch of money on options anyways, maybe you should buy some of this instead. Again, none of this is financial advice. This is just my personal plan. If you want to be degenerate in other ways, look how I make 1% per week selling puts on this stock. Peace.